Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'll take these glasses off because you can't see my eyes. Oh my God. So frustrating. So frustrating. It feels worse than conceding the goal in the last minute against Huddersfield to lose, because it felt like a game that we definitely should have won. Definitely should have won. Now, I'm not saying that Preston didn't deserve a point. They probably did overall. But yeah, when you go kind of 2-1 up quite late on, you shouldn't be throwing it away. You should not be throwing it away. It's just so frustrating. What minute was it? 94th minute. I know there were 5 minutes extra time, added time, whatever you want to call it. But still, 6 minutes until the 90, and you're giving silly goals away. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. Let me pop that up there and put my glasses on because I can't see anything. So, yeah, it's just so frustrating to see our defence. Like, look at the defenders that we've had in the past. Jags, Muggs, Robert Page, Sean Murphy, even going back to Paul McGrath. These are defenders that don't get knocked off the ball, that don't give away silly goals in the last minute, that defend corners really well, defend free kicks really well, throw-ins really well. We struggle with all of those things. Even having a goalkeeper like a Paddy Kenny who can come out and you're quite happy with him coming and catching a ball or coming and punching a ball. All of it just worries me. Whenever we're defending, it worries me. Egan is the only one. Egan and Baldock, for me, those two, you know that they're going to, one, give 100%, and two, not really going to give anything sloppy away. Like maybe once or twice a season, they'll do something daft and give away a sloppy goal. For me, tonight, the sloppiness came from the left-hand side, which has been happening for the last kind of year and a half, nearly 2 years now. It's always that left-hand side. And it's really starting to do my head in. I saw a lot of people going on about Jack Robinson, and I'm probably going to speak a lot about Jack Robinson in this video, I'm going to be honest, because even before that second goal that we conceded, I was not impressed with Jack Robinson. I said Saturday, when he gave away that goal for Marriott, I said that Basham should have been on straight away because he gets knocked off the ball way too easily. And he's just not a good defender. I don't know what his position is. He might not be a bad left back, but he's certainly not a centre back. He may be a left centre back in a 3. He's not done that very well in the past, but he's certainly not a left centre back. And I put out there saying, why can't a right-footed player play at left centre back? Now, we've done it for years. Jags and Morgan, Page and Murphy, Morgan and 𝐍𝐸𝐿𝐼, they're all right-footed centre-backs. There's only really Matt Kilgallen that I can think of that was left-footed centre-back. I can't think of any others until like you check O'Connell days. So why does it have to be a left-footed player? Anyway, let's start from scratch, because as you can probably see, I'm really annoyed. I'm really ticked off. So first of all, 𝐍𝐸𝐍𝐸 scored a goal really early on. Absolutely fantastic finish. Great ball in from Freeman, caused problems, landed to him, and it was just a very well taken goal. It was one of those that was really difficult to kind of keep that, not necessarily keep down, but get on target and get in pace on it. And he kind of just guided it into the corner, which is great to see. Great finish. Went off celebrating, loving life. And Jai, I'll call him Illyman. Illy had a good game as well. It wasn't quite linking. They weren't quite linking up as well as they did against Peterborough. But Preston were a really physical side, a very physical side. And that's the reason why they didn't link up perfectly, because Preston really were getting in through the back of them. Every single time the ball came up to Illy or Morgs, they were straight through the back of them. Billy Sharp, straight through the back of them. And they were just not letting us turn. So, yeah, we took the goal well. Great. We were creating chances down the left-hand side. Luke Freeman, I thought was excellent today. I was really surprised and really gutted when he came off. Sander Berge obviously scored the goal when he came on, so obviously that was great. But I still think that Luke Freeman shouldn't have come off because I thought he had a great game today. He was creating lots of stuff down that left-hand side. Norrington Davies trying to overlap him and get some crosses in and stuff. Didn't really work out. I can't remember many kind of clear-cut opportunities that we had in that first half. But then their goal came, their first goal. A calamity of errors. And obviously we've been talking about League One ways for such a long time and saying that we need to replace him. And then Olsen goes and does that, doesn't they? Jeez, for anybody that didn't see it or missed it, it was a lovely ball played over from diagonal ball from the left-hand side for, I think it's Daniel Johnson to run onto. Reece Norrington-Davies got caught out lots of times with that ball over the top or that ball inside, and he just didn't know where his man was. It opened my eyes tonight about Norrington-Davies. I really like the guy. I think he's a really good player going forward. He is a threat. He's getting better and better going forward, but he needs to get that defensive role down because he's great at getting stuck in. More often than not, his positioning is good, but he sometimes, when a ball is played through or kind of behind him, he kind of panics and he's like, who's there? Where do I go? What do I do? And that's what happened with their first goal. Ball played over. Olsen coming out. I don't know what he was doing. He must have misjudged the flight of the ball, thinking it was coming a lot quicker at him or a lot further on, and it just completely misread the situation, came out to kind of claim it, and Johnson just took it past him. I don't know what he was doing, but I'm not just blaming Olsen for this one, even though it was a bit of a calamity. I will have to blame Norrington-Davies as well for letting him get in behind him because that was poor defensive work. Anyway, so that was the first half. It was 1-1 at half-time, the same result as it was at half-time for the Peterborough game. So no need to worry just yet. I thought we had an okay first half. Not saying that we were excellent. We didn't pull up too many trees, but we had a pretty decent first half. I don't really think that they caused us too many problems other than that. A couple of balls that came across the box that nobody was on the end of for them that Olsen was quite happy with. He came out and punched a few balls. One of the first ones that he did, Olsen was a little bit, suspect. He kind of jumped up with somebody else and kind of palmed it behind. I don't think that was what he meant to do, but I was a little bit worried about that. Throughout the game, he didn't do too bad in the air. Obviously, the second goal wasn't his fault. The first one, you got to say it was his fault, but he'll learn from it. He's misjudged it. Obviously, he's not played too many games either for Roma. So, you can't expect a goalkeeper who's not played for months and months and months or not played too many games to just slot in straight away and be perfect. However, he did make an absolute stunning stop to keep it at 1-1. It was 1-on-1. I'll quickly go through that. I'm not exactly going in chronological order because I want to talk about the Fleck chance as well. 1-on-1, he went down low and managed to get a leg to it, I believe, and then it looped just over the bar, which I could see that looping in. I'm surprised it didn't loop in, to be honest, knowing us. Fleck, he got free. He was away. He did exactly what he needed to do because I think it was Sharp and somebody else were coming back, maybe Brewster were coming back from an offside position, and he pushed it forward and ran onto it. And he's like, "No, this is mine." Because both of those would have been offside, and he decided to try and chip the goalkeeper or try and dink the goalkeeper when he went down, and just didn't get it right, did he? It would have been a great finish if he'd have got that right. But he didn't, and you just think, just put your foot through it. If the keeper saves it and you put your foot through it, at least you put your foot through it. But trying to dink the goalkeeper every time it doesn't work out, you're going to look a bit of an idiot. And didn't work out, and then didn't land to any of our players. It just landed straight to one of their centre backs to clear it. Really, really frustrating. But really, really good work before that to get into that position. then, yeah, we scored the goal. Excellent, excellent play from Morgan Gibbs-White. A little flick to Fleck to carry on his run and playing Billy. I think it was Billy Sharp. That's what I mean about Morgan Gibbs-White. The fact that the ball comes to him. If that would have been a Fleck or a Sander Berger or someone like that, they'd have stopped the ball, they'd have turned, and then they'd have tried to find the pass. And that would have completely slowed the play down. Morgan Gibbs-White, a little flick onto Fleck, and Fleck's still running. Fleck's still got that ball. So he's away. And that's what I mean about a little flick sometimes is so much better than just putting your foot on the ball, turning and passing, because it just, Fleck didn't have to stop stride at all. He was just kept going. And then it ended up at Billy Sharp's feet. He couldn't quite get a good shot away. And then it landed straight to Sander Berger, just to side foot it through the goalkeeper's legs. And I'm not going to say that I thought that was over, because I was really, really nervous. And this is, like I said earlier on in the video, when Neil Warnock was the manager, I was never worried. Never worried about us conceding a goal in the last minute. Now, it happens every now and then, but it seems to happen to us a lot more these days than it used to. Like I said, when you've got a �𝐚𝐽𝐸, a Jagielka, even like a Lee Bromby playing at right back, you've got three big players who like to head the ball. Us at the moment, John Egan, not a tall lad, really. He's not an overly tall lad, and he's great in the air, don't get me wrong, but he's going to get beat in the air by a bigger lad. Jack Robinson, horrific in the air, horrific, and we'll get on to him. Then we've got two tiny fullbacks. Like Enda Stevens wasn't massive, but if you're going up against Reece Norrington-Davies, you know you're going to win that ball. If you're going up against Baldock, you pretty much know you're going to win that ball. So that only leaves two centre-backs to mark. They're probably two big centre-backs that are coming forward. They're big attacker. They're this, that, and the other. So we've not got a big enough team. Sander Berger's never going to win a header. So that leaves you with, unless McBurney's on, because McBurney's probably better in the air defensively than any of our defenders. So unless you've got McBurney on, then you've got two smallish centre-backs, you would say. For a centre-back pairing, I would say they're quite small. Trying to win headers. And really, that was an absolute peach of an easy header to make. And Jack Robinson got in the wrong position, completely misjudged it, flicked it onto their player just to pop it across the box. Fleck with a swan dive trying to head it away. And then even George Baldock on the line, he ran towards the man shooting and then turned his back sideways like that. And he just placed it past him. Instead of making his body big, he made his body a lot smaller by doing that. And I don't get it. I really don't get it. If that would have been us attacking, needing a goal in the last minute, Preston would have had 3, 4, 5 bodies on the line, stopping that from going in. But with us, completely, just not good enough. Just not good enough. Yeah, really, really frustrating that into the game. I've seen us concede a lot of goals in the past, and normally they are from the stupid long balls forward that we just can't deal with. Even in the Championship, when we went up, like it was Millwall, wasn't it? It was Millwall where a ball came into the box and we couldn't deal with it. The season before, Cardiff, we did it against Cardiff. We did it against loads and loads. We just kept giving these goals away really late on. And that's the difference between a team going up and a team not. And don't get me wrong, we did go up even though we conceded a couple of late goals in the 18-19 season, is it? We still went up. But this is the difference between going up and not, conceding these stupid goals. But we need to iron it out, because for me, I'm going to be honest, Jack Robinson should not wear a Sheffield United shirt ever again for me. Like, don't get me wrong, if we're struggling and we need somebody, yeah, fill in. But he's not a starter. When you've got Chris Basham sat on the bench, who's been instrumental, for Sheffield United for, what, 5-6 years, Jack Robinson shouldn't get anywhere near the team. Now, Ben Davies will be fit for the next game, and Ben Davies will be starting 100%. But, Slav, please, in the future, if Basham's fit and Davies isn't or Egan isn't, Basham needs to start over Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson is not good enough. Flicking the ball on for their player last week, getting caught on the ball and them scoring, because that could have changed the game completely. We could have lost that game against Peterborough. Obviously, the strikers and the midfielders got them out of jail. But no, even tonight, at one point, the ball was there to be won, and you could tell Jack Robinson and I think it was Potts, were both going shoulder to shoulder. It's like, right, here we go. And he got completely knocked to the ground. Now, don't get me wrong, this Potts was a big, strong lad, but as a centre-back, yeah, you might get knocked off the ball every now and again by a big striker, but he got completely poleaxed to the floor. Like, they both went shoulder to shoulder, and he went flying. He needs to get it, Jim. Don't he? He needs to get it, Jim. A centre-back should not be bullied that easily. Just embarrassing. So, yeah, I don't think he particularly had a terrible game, but the one-on-one that happened where Olsen saved us, Jack Robinson, for some reason, was on the right-hand side, and it got played through him, and he didn't even know it was there. And he was like, oh, right, okay. Oh, great. Thanks, Olsen, for saving me. Not good enough. Really, really not good enough. Let's crack on through the team, because I don't want to be here talking about this all night. I'm not really in the mood to be doing this video anyway, but obviously we got to do this. This is the channel. So, obviously, let's quickly go through the team lineup. So, Olsen had a mixed game for me. Great save from the one-on-one, but a few hairy moments where the ball was in the box and I still wasn't sure whether he was going to come and get enough of a good punch on it. But I'm sure it'll come with games. Baldock, excellent as always. I was critical about him being on the line, but yeah, he's trying to stop a goal. Like, he is trying to stop a goal. He's not made a mistake. Egan did well. Did all right. Did well at bringing the ball out a few times earlier on in the first half. Defended wellish. Jack Robinson, shocker again, second week in a row. He's scored an own goal against West Brom. Made a mistake last week that cost us a goal. On Saturday. Made a mistake tonight that cost us a goal. He can't carry on playing. That's 3 goals, and that's just off the top of my head. Reece Norrington-Davies had a poor defensive game for me tonight. Like I said, got caught with the ball played behind him way too many times. Daniel Johnson, great player, and he was constantly on Norrington-Davies because he knew that he was a little bit dodge. So yeah, he needs to get better. I thought Fleck had an excellent game. He's definitely turned a corner, Fleck, 100%. He's not going back to the old Fleck. We know that that's 2 games in a row where he's been brilliant. Norwood, I don't think, had a bad game either, even though I was calling for him to come off and Berger to come on. I don't think he had a bad game in the slightest. I think he started a lot of good attacks. He played a few balls over the top that Freeman nearly got onto one, Sharpie nearly got onto another. He was trying with that long through ball. And Jai, he did okay for large parts of the game. His footwork is incredible. Like, at one time, he stood a player up and then just kind of flip-flapped it around him and he was away. And he's obviously raw, and he's obviously not that strong. But what a fantastic talent he is. But yeah, he came off with what it looked like to be cramp again. After Hal said in the preview that he was never going to get cramp ever again. That's life. He's a young lad. He's not played too many games at this high level, at this intensity. So it's bound to happen. He'll find his feet. No need to worry at all. But it is a bit of a shame that he's come off twice in 2 games with cramp. I thought 𝐍𝐸𝐻 at certain points was getting bullied quite a lot, but he came into his own in the second half. Obviously scored his goal in the first half, and then created a good opportunity where we ended up scoring from. which was great to see. Freeman, I thought he was excellent. Did really, really well in place of 𝐍𝐸. I think he's a better threat going forward than 𝐍𝐸, but I think Ozzy's much, much better defensively. So it's whatever you want from it. I think Freeman possibly, I know Ozzy scored 2 in the last game, but I think in this game, we needed Ozzy for that kind of extra man on that left-hand side, maybe defensively. But Freeman did brilliantly, created loads of chances, was always wanting the ball. Great to see. I'm loving seeing Freeman and 𝐍𝐸𝐸𝐻 all in attacking areas with Billy Sharp kind of roaming around. It's great. And then Sharpie put everything in today. But yeah, it weren't quite coming off for him for most of the game, even though he got the assist for Sander Berge, pretty much. Let's call it an assist. But yeah, it won't be wanting assists. He'll be wanting goals, won't he? Sander Berge came on, scored the goal. Good finish through the goalkeeper's legs. It's always good to aim for the keeper's legs because quite often it goes through them because they're trying to spread themselves. So good finish from Sander Berge. He did a few runs where he was kind of driving, and then we were like getting free kicks, getting corners and stuff. So yeah, he's definitely a threat when he comes on. Brewster always looked dangerous, but nothing really came off for him. He put the ball in the back of the net when Billy Sharp was adjudged to be offside. Haven't seen that back, but it did look like that to me. And Conor Horahan. The only thing that I will say about Horahan, I thought he had a really good game when he came on. But at one point when we were 2-1 up, a couple of minutes left, he did go for the corner and then lost the ball straight away. And I just felt like we needed to go for that third goal. I know it's easy for me sat in the stands saying we need to go for that third goal when we're 2-1 up. But look what happened. It's really frustrating. I'd rather us go for that goal and concede than no, I wouldn't. I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest, because it's easy saying go for the goal, but if you lose that ball and then they go and score, you'd be like, oh, I should have took it into the corner. So yeah, you can't really win, but it would have been nice to have seen us try and score more goals, especially with how poor our defence has been this season. Especially now our attacker scoring goals. That's 8 goals in 2 games. Obviously 6 in the last one, which was a massive one. But another 2 today. It took us about 5 games to score 1 goal before this. And now we've just scored 2 goals against Preston, which Preston are not a bad side. They are not going to be struggling this season. Preston, they were a really physical side, similar to Birmingham. Not quite as physical as Birmingham, but definitely better on the ball than Birmingham. Yeah, they're going to be in and around the playoffs for me. Hopefully we'll be in and around the playoffs too. But it would have been nice to have seen 2 wins in 2 games. But I know it's stupid to say, but we're on a 3-game unbeaten run. Draw against Luton, win against Peterborough, and then draw against Preston. Hopefully we go on against Hull and we either win that game or we at least get a point from it. Obviously it's away from home. So let's see. I'll quickly go into the comments before I go. Why did I have to pick one that's foreign? The very first comment, I picked one that's foreign. On a positive, glad to see Berge back and scoring. Yes, absolutely, Paul. That is great. Great to see. Thought you won that late on with Sander. Sander, yeah. He is sometimes, but I think he's more of a Premier League player than a Championship player. He gets bullied too much in the Championship. Fair enough. If we can't defend a free kick from halfway line, we don't deserve to win. Absolutely, Hal. Absolutely. It wasn't even a difficult free kick to defend because the ball came over and nobody was jumping with Jack Robinson. He just completely misjudged it and flicked it on for him. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I feel for you guys. I'm a Reading fan, and it was devastating conceding to QPR. I watched that, Sean. I watched that, and I was devastated for you, to be honest, mate. I've got literally no affiliation towards QPR or Reading, but I know how it feels. We've not scored too many late goals in the past, well, probably, again, 18 months. Not scored too many late goals, so I've not felt that euphoria when we've scored a late goal, but I've felt a lot of devastation when we've conceded a late one. So yeah, I felt it. I felt you, mate. Egan is happier when he's got Bash alongside him. Probably. Ashley Williams is a free agent. I just saw somewhere. Yeah, he is. Jack Robinson. Oh, I can't talk about him anymore. Shane made at the second goal. Yeah. Horahan frustrated me. Went to the corner, lost it, fouled his man. Poor. Yeah, exactly what I just said. He did win it back for a brief second, but it ended up being a free kick. So yeah, frustrating. Looking better from the midfield, from the middle of the field to the top. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. Preston were horrendous. I don't agree with that. I think they defended well, and Daniel Johnson was always creative and scary on the break. Preston in the playoffs, there we go. A lot of people saying not. Preston were crap. A lot of people saying Preston are crap. I'm surprised at that, because for me, they were solid and dangerous at the same time. I take a point at Hull. Yeah, probably me too. Easy header for Robinson. Yep, definitely. Didn't get to watch it, but conceded at 90th minute is terrible. Yep. Went to bed shaking my head. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in a second, mate. Could have done with building momentum today, absolutely. But saying that, it does feel like a loss, but it isn't. It's a draw. We've not lost the game. It's another point on the board after only getting kind of 2 points from 5 or 6 games. Another point on the board is just, I know it sounds stupid, and I know we don't want to be thinking about relegation, but it's another point on the board, innit? Heard you was on the verge of well done. I'm too tired to be reading these comments. Horahan is just Norwood with the left foot. It's difficult to say that after only seeing him for sort of like 20 minutes in 2 games. Should the foul on Norwood have been a red? I didn't see it enough to know. Obviously, when you're at the game, depending where you are in the ground, you just can't tell. It's better to ask people that watch that on the TV. I agree. We have definitely turned the corner now. Absolutely. Let's onwards and upwards, guys. We go again Saturday. Absolutely, Finn. We go again. I'm in New Zealand. I have all day to deal with it. Oh, Paul, I feel sorry for you, mate. At least I can go to sleep now, or try to go to sleep and forget about it and wake up, and tomorrow's a new day. So let's leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and try and sleep. And we'll see you for the next one. Why couldn't we have had two wins in 2 games? See you later, guys. Have a good one.